super low quality video, I forgot the remote. However, welcome back to Hawkmock Motovlog. I'm Jeff.
I'm Alex.
And to start things off, we want to apologize that it's been like a 5 or 6 month delay. And there's a reason. Both bikes are actually back and here. And if you don't already, you should probably go follow me on Instagram because there was photos we posted, and I have to get better at that, by the way. Of posting photos to kind of show, because it's kind of hard for us with the seasons picking up at both our jobs to actually be able to shoot videos. Quick side note, probably should edit this out, but I'm not going to because I'm too lazy. The last video we shot, I was working right over here. And I ended up Abington, then I'm in Kingston, now I'm back here. So, first things first, we actually did a thing. Go up to the camera. Got some stickers made. So what you will notice is that the intro footage is going to stay the same. However, when you see our posts on social media, it's going to be these stickers, or I screwed up when I ordered the stickers. These are round cut. I wanted die cut. And the first batch of 10 I got, actually, there's the sticker. I'd like to give a shout out actually to Desert Rose. Her and her husband, Strikers. I always screw that up. She actually helped me redo the design. Someone previously had done the design for me, and I had pictures of it. When I went to contact someone about getting stickers made, there was an issue. So I reached out. I had mentioned it to Desert Rose, and she actually came up with the photo and the whole new rendering. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put this up close so you can see it. It's actually Sasquatch giving the finger again, riding a Roadglide Ultra.
I wonder whose idea it was to add the Ultra.
So, the side note to that is Alex and I were joking around back and forth one day. We don't work for the same company, just so you know. We're joking around back and forth one day, and he was like, hey, what if we had the Yeti giving, or the Yeti was already giving the finger. He goes, what if we did this? And it was actually a Yeti and a motorcycle, but it was like a crotch rocket. So then I sent it to Desert Rose, and I talked to her, and she actually was able to put it on Roadglide Ultra, which just makes life better. So, this is where we're at. It's June 10th. We actually tried to shoot a couple videos before this one, and either it was freezing cold in the shop because we had a space heater and that really ruined the audio quality. The video I shot with him, we had a space heater. So we decided to take a little bit of personal time off, if you will, till the weather changed. We went to go shoot videos another night, and it was super windy, and the Joby setup that we used for this, the microphone picked up all the wind. You could hear what we were saying, but you could hear something in the background.
Patchy.
Yeah, wasn't happy with it. And then we ran into a bunch of issues with the bikes. So this video is kind of hey, right before Laconia update. So I'm gonna kick it off, and then I'm gonna send it to you. So if you don't know, when I first started shooting this, I was shooting at my old apartment in Taunton, and I was talking about how I bought Legend suspension. So the bike went into the shop in February.
It went a couple of times.
Yeah, well, this is where it gets to. So the first time it went in, we had the new LED headlight from Amazon put in. I am thinking about changing it out, but as of right now, I'm leaving it put. It works, it's great. We're gonna get to why I might change it. And the Legend suspension got put in. I've done about 1,000 miles or so far. Definitely have a better grasp of the Legends. We're gonna do a whole video on that, a whole video on both bikes. I don't know if that's gonna be the same video, doing two bikes together, or if we'll separate it. So that was the first trip to the shop. Well, the bike comes back, and we're gonna do a video on buyers beware, is what we're gonna actually title it. About buying parts off Facebook, Craigslist, used parts in general. Bought a part, said it was something that it wasn't. Try to talk to the guy, he wouldn't work with me. So we ended up modifying it, putting it on, hated it. I got super frustrated and took out my credit card and spent a lot of money really quickly. Ended up buying the pipe twice to send one back to get my money refunded. Yeah, so we're gonna have a huge video on that. So the big update is, and the reason I brought up the Instagram earlier is so you can kind of see where we're going, what we're doing. I now have a Vance & Hines Pro Pipe 2-to-1, S&S intake, Power Commander 3 is finally, or Power Commander 5, Power Commander 3 was in my diamond. Power Commander 5 in the bike, and it runs awesome. There's actually a photo we took a couple weeks, almost 2 weeks ago now, of we did a ride, we ended up getting caught in the rain, and I was running the Clockworks 12-inch windshield, which is, whoops, and you can see that the 8 inches back up, or 9 inch, whatever they call it, is back on the Roadglide. That's a great windshield, except where I'm.
You need a little bit taller, a little bit shorter.
Yeah, I was like dead in line with it. So kind of enough about that. I don't think there was anything else we were. Oh, big other thing we did. Lighting. Cops are going by, sweet. I upgraded the front, rear, brake light, and turn signal, or front and rear turn signals, brake light, LED tour pack arms, brake light, I don't know if I said that, all from Custom Dynamics, and ended up running their triple play load equalizer system. Student shooter train. That's going to get its own whole video too, to talk about that, because there's been a few things with that. The other thing is, the front wheel on my bike is now a 19-inch Enforcer wheel off a newer style Roadglide, and that's the second reason it went to the shop, is because if you don't know, I'm here to tell you, when you do your own brakes and you have ABS, you actually need to either have the computer system to do it or have a shop do it, because the ABS system will not work correctly without having it plugged into a computer and saying, hey, we're bleeding the brakes, this is okay, we're supposed to do this, and everything's right. Your bike.
Complete mess.
Yeah.
Was a complete mess at least. It's all fixed now.
So you can kind of see it in the video here. Well, I think my bike's in the way. He's got a tour pack now, just like me. So, funny little story, when my bike came here last year, 2020, Alex gave me a bunch of shit about having a tour pack, it's an old man's bike, blah, blah, blah. And quick update, we had talked about doing a Sturgis video. You know what, we're just gonna dabble on that real quick. My company that I work for completely screwed me with my vacation time and wouldn't allow me to take the extended time off. So we're trying to refigure out how to do that. So we do have some other things and trips planned. So you have a tour pack now.
Tour pack, yes.
What else did you do? Brake light.
The brake light, yes, it was originally his that he didn't end up liking because it didn't have the license plate light. Pick
So-
bastard.
We'll touch on that. So I had the shop order me the front and rear turn signals and the tail light, and I thought because maybe I had an Ultra, I would have some load equalizer already built in. I didn't, and when I put the tail light on, it ended up being the square back with no plate light. I wanted the plate light. So I said, here, you can buy this off me for what I just paid. You put that on, you got the tour pack. You had a rabbit hole of issues that you had to chase down.
A lot of money, a lot of time. Starting with the front brakes.
So when Alex went to do his 21-inch front wheel, he had kept his other rotors on.
Because I was told that.
Or no, it wasn't the rotors, it was the calipers.
Brake calipers, yes.
Which is untrue. So whenever you go up, his bike is an 06, he had to go to the newer style Brembos, like what's on mine. which is an 11. So you had to do that. I think he did rotors for you.
Nope.
No?
He just did the calipers and the pads.
Calipers, pads.
Obviously the pads wouldn't work from the old style.
Right. Your exhaust stud bolt, which had to get replaced a couple of times, which there was just some issues. We're just going to leave it at that. And you got a seat.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so did my bike. So I purchased the Mustang Low Touring Deluxe, Touring, whatever they call it, with driver's backrest. Was able to get that, and when we were talking about doing our Sturgis trip, obviously seating position is important. I went on Facebook, and this is going to go into that whole other video. You were able to pick up for $300,
which is dirt cheap.
yeah, considering mine was 7 and change, the Mustang normal touring seat with driver's backrest. I don't know if you guys can tell in the video, I'm not really super close. We both don't have the backrest on right now. We've tried running them. They're worth their weight in gold. If you don't know, I had it on my stock seat. I really enjoyed it. The Mustang, it just takes a lot of fine tuning, and you think you got it right, and then you don't, and then you just...
We also just haven't ridden long enough to actually get it right.
Right. So there's a lot of like little bit of play with that. So yeah, you had your bars adjusted.
Well, I had them rewired because they were not wired correctly. What else? Oh, new radio. I went with the new radio.
So when Alex got his bike back from the shop, this is kind of funny. Like I said, there was a couple issues, and he's like, my radio stopped working. So he's trying to figure it out. And he has an Android. I have an Apple. Just saying.
But they had just done the wiring, so that's why I thought it was
Yes.
a shop.
So the radio that was in his bike actually came out of this bike for free. You got a year out of it. It's not too bad. So it ended up being the Bluetooth connector, and instead of monkeying around with the radio, Alex came to me and said, what do you think of your radio? And I was telling him how much I love it. The only small problem I have, and I'll just throw us out here if Rockford Fosgate ever decides to watch my horrible quality videos, after a while with Pandora, it won't work anymore, which is the best way to word it. It'll just say all playback finished or something, and it's super annoying. And actually, a couple weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago now, this Saturday will be 2 weeks, we rode out. We started on just a little jaunt of a ride, and then ended up at another place, Then ended about 2.5 hours from home, a place called P-Town. Now, if you're from Massachusetts, P-Town's where all the homosexual individuals hang out. Well, it's also a beautiful ride to get out there. Well, as soon as we get out there, something in my gut said, hey, check the weather on your phone. Rain was coming in about 45 minutes.
Well, we were surrounded by ocean.
Yeah,
and
so
we could look out and just see this dark cloud coming at us.
If you don't know, this is the arm of Massachusetts, okay? Where my beard is kind of like the bottom corner of my beard is where the shop is. P-Town's the tip of my knuckles. So we had to ride, and there's no straight shot. You have to go all the way around. So we ended up riding back. About 45 minutes into our ride back, it started to rain. Now, I do want to touch on this. I was 2 up with my girlfriend. He was 2 up with his sister. And before we left P-Town, we had a quick conversation. How bad does it have to get? Thunder and lightning, blowing sideways, can't see. Where are we going to cut this off? And we both kind of just said, hey, we'll use our judgment. So we started riding, and my personal opinion of this, and I will voice this to anyone that will listen, I personally think you should ride in the rain on your own good free will before you have to. The first time I ever got caught in the rain, I was out riding and it was nerve wracking. Didn't know how my bike would react. I didn't know it was actually on my Sportster.
You know how you would react either.
Right. And then someone I respect very highly and who I've ridden with or I hadn't ridden with for a long time at that point, and have ridden with multiple times since, sat me down and said, listen, you should go out and do this on your own while it's raining. It's gonna suck. I actually prefer riding in the rain. I'm kind of a sick individual like that. I hate the getting wet part, but I don't hate it. I don't know.
Well, it's a test of your skill as
Right.
a rider, so.
This is true. So, kind of fast forward, there's a town called Brewster. We hit rain in Brewster, which is like up around here on the Cape, all the way to Plymouth. I wouldn't say we got wet. It wasn't
a little
so
bit more than you because I don't have the lowers,
This is true.
but
Put it this way,
it was not raining as hard as we thought it would be.
right? And it wasn't like we were sitting in wet underwear the whole time, which I've done, and that is, I probably would have at that point called it like, hey, I need to dry.
What was it? Our gloves, our face, and legs got a little wet. That's it.
Top of my thighs, but I think
Only my the front of my legs got wet.
they were damp.
Knees
They weren't
down got damp. That's about it. And my gloves.
My gloves are soaked. Oh, and that's the other thing. So I now have handguards on my bike, which I've run on my Dyna. I miss that bike. So, kind of a little update of where we're at, which is why we're doing this video. So, bikes are both back. We were gonna do Sturgis. That got shit canned, like I said, because of my job. And we've been meaning to shoot a video quite a few times now, and it just my bike wasn't here, his bike wasn't here.
Or things like we were talking about just ruin the video.
Right. We actually tried to shoot a quick little video before this and got interrupted by his roommate, which, hey, these things happen. It's part of perks of shooting in the shop. So, the other thing I actually want to touch base on is stickers and some other stuff. So, we ordered a set of stickers like I showed in the beginning of the video. Or we ordered the die cut ones, I think is what Sticker Mule calls them. And I did a trial pack. They came out awesome. I went and ordered 200 more. However, I ordered the wrong ones. So then I had to reorder 100, but they gave me a discount because I screwed up. Of the new die cut ones, we're not sure if we're going to sell them, give them out, how we're going to do it. Probably sell them to whoever wants them. Haven't really talked about it, but we might get some gear, some merch, some cool shit. The other big change for the channel is Alex got a GoPro.
So now I have 2 GoPros.
2 GoPros. So we kind of talked about this a little bit before the start of the video. I'm thinking it's going to kind of be more of a collaboration effort now instead of a solo style motovlog. Motovlog typically has always been, riding footage. Now we're going to have the ability to do that instead of just the interviews, but I still want to do the interviews, which we talked about. And I have to wait until probably after August. Who am I kidding? I might wait till July. Okay, probably next week. I'm thinking of purchasing the Sena, what is it? The 10C Evo, I think they call it. It's an action camera that goes on your helmet. I won't be able to get a super lot of footage with it, and I know that going into it. I ran Sena comms for 2015, so 6 years. A very, very ex-girlfriend, actually it was a mutual friend of ours, Kevin, got a twin pack for free. He had a crotch rocket, I had a Sportster, we used it to talk to each other. Then I had to buy it for my ex-girlfriend. That got taken off her helmet, I had to buy a new one for her because I sold it to a buddy. Then that went to Luke. That thing made a couple of reiterations around the world. I still have mine. But it's super good to have Bluetooth communicator.
I'm gonna be getting it, obviously.
Yeah. So we are in the process of going more of a motovlog route. So we kind of wanted to just shoot this video while it was decent. It's kind of got hot in the shop since we started. It's kind of weird. Just give you guys an update of where we are, what's been going on, and we really hope to be dropping some new footage or some new videos soon. Like I said, we got the good old stickers in, so if you want one, I don't know, message me on Instagram or something like that. Like, I'll figure out something, I'll get you some stickers. Yeah, so I think that's about it for this video. You got anything?
Nope. I think we covered everything we wanted to in this video. So.
Yeah. So until the next time, keep the rubber down, shiny up, and I think I might get him some stickers made with a Manitor. The half man, half horse thing. You eat like a horse, so. Alright everybody, till next time.